Okay, so I'm going to talk about several different types of vessels that are contained within our body. What we have here is a picture of a vein, which is here. I'm circling with the pointer, and then the artery, which is over here. Uh, the function of these is obviously the vein carries blood into the heart as it ends in IN, and the artery carries blood away from the heart. And away and artery both begin with A. Now the other thing that I use to remember the separation when I'm looking at these two is that if you draw a line right through the middle, and even if you don't, but if you draw a line right through the middle here, this forms an arch right here around the tunica interna. Okay? This right here is an arch. Artery. Arch. That's how I was able to remember it. Another thing is thinking about how the blood is a powerful, or how the heart is a powerful pump. And this part right here, which is the tunica media, this thick muscly looking part here that's kind of purple, is much thicker in the artery than it is in the vein. So how I was able to correlate that is thinking that the heart is pumping that blood powerfully, and so arteries come away from the heart, so it needs to have a thicker wall to handle that immense amount of pressure. And that's the way I was able to formulate it. Plus, watching the videos and everything here really it gives me an overview of the whole system, how they function. I'm going to talk about arteries and veins and arterioles and capillaries and the different structures and functions and the roles they play in the body. So we have here a simulated picture of an arteriole, and notice the nerve fiber that is going directly to that. Now that plays a vital role in the arterioles play a vital role in regulating blood pressure, because as you get stressed, these signals come faster down the nerve fiber, and as you relax, they get slower, and that causes the vessel, the arteriole, to contract or to constrict and to dilate as needed. Now, this video really brings to life the full action of that, and I'm going to play it here because it really shows a good overview, a good in-life scenario of how that works.
Arterioles are the smallest arteries. Their tunica media is almost entirely smooth muscle, allowing the arterioles to constrict and relax. Vasomotor fibers regulate the activity of the smooth muscle. This regulation is crucial because small changes in blood vessel diameter greatly influence blood pressure and blood flow. Click the nerve to see how increasing sympathetic activity affects blood vessel diameter.
Alright, now I'm going to click the nerve, and this is what really... Alright, you see how it's gotten faster? There it goes. It shrinks down. Your blood pressure is
again to see how decreasing sympathetic activity affects blood vessel diameter.
See how the signal got faster than it was before, and it got smaller. The arteriole got smaller, which is going to increase the blood pressure. It's going to be pumping more blood. You're essentially going to be pumping more blood through a smaller lumen, which, this kind of really showed me what it was about. Now I'm going to click it again to slow it down. Boom. Now it's slowing, and watch how it's going to dilate. There, back up to size. Blood pressure is lowering now, and things are relaxing. You got blood moving through a larger lumen. So I just thought this was great and brings it to life. Okay, so now I'm moving to capillaries, and capillaries is where all the magic happens, so to speak. Capillaries, I learned through this class, are made of a single layer of endothelial cell, one thin layer, and that's because it needs to be thin so that it can the blood can diffuse through there easily. I remember Miss Guest saying about this. Doesn't that make sense? The thinner it is, the easier it's going to move through. I remember that. So, I just kind of think of this as where all the magic happens right here, where the arteries and the veins kind of meet up, and all the changing, diffusion, and transfer of gases, all kinds of happen. This is a very important part of our body structure right here. I'm going to let the video play now.
Capillaries consist of only a thin tunica intima, allowing exchange of materials between blood and tissues.
Okay, now obviously this cartoon cannot depict the immense complication that goes on in this area here, but it is a very complicated structure and that I don't even fully understand. But this video does help to put it in perspective a little bit. It shows that there's not just a straight transfer, so to speak, of blood. This is going to kind of bring to life the action and what happens. And now notice it's not just straight vessels, but there's sphincters, rings of muscles there that control. And this is where I really seen how the blood pressure in the arterial can be affected, because as that arterial here closes, it's squeezing this through here with more pressure. I mean, this is where I really understood the blood pressure part. So I'm going to let this play, and hopefully it makes as much sense to you as it does to me.
Blood flow regulation occurs at the capillary beds. The terminal arteriole brings blood to the capillary bed. The front is a short vessel that directly connects the feeder arteriole and the post-capillary venule at the opposite end of the bed. Exchanges of materials take place between tissue cells and the blood in the true capillaries. The precapillary sphincter is a cuff of smooth muscle fibers that surround the root of each true capillary, acting as a valve to regulate the flow of blood into the true capillary.
Okay, now I'm going to show the precapillary sphincter and how it really affects the blood flow. As you can see here, you got that fluid coming through there represents the blood coming through. Now you can see the little dots there. All the little dots are different types of ions that are diffusing into the cells in the capillary beds here. So I'm going to click on this sphincter here, and it's going to show a little bit more in depth how things work. See how it's stopped it off there? So I think this is cool. This I don't know, this brought to life more than me than anything of how the cells work, or the capillary beds work for diffusion into the cells. I just thought this was a cool video that I felt the need to share. Okay, last but not least, I want to talk about venules. They are the last part of the blood flow function before hitting the veins and going back into the heart. So and basically I just learned that by watching the videos, and not a complicated concept to get. I'll show you this.
The smallest venules, which drain capillaries, consist entirely of endothelium, around which a few fibroblasts congregate.
It's going to show the blood flow and post-capillary venule here. This is basically running back into the vein now, and it's going to go back to the heart as carbon dioxide rich blood. And this is how I learned this. Not much else to say about that.